Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Sakari. In this channel, we will be documenting and following the development of Sumo Mandala, an application for creating digital mandalas and digital flowers that will be coming for the mobile phones in year 2024, so this year. Since last update, I've been thinking about this petal drawing in Mandala, and I've come to the conclusion that the best way to do this drawing of petals and all drawing features in Sumo Mandala will now be controlled by these touch panel controls. So previously we had been developing this app for mostly for iPad, so the screen size is much larger there, and you could kind of like use the desktop paradigm of UI design there, like buttons and so on, buttons and tapping those, clicking those, this way. But now that I've realized that it's best to do this for the mobile phones, because that's where the people are. Everybody has a phone with them, and with Flutter we can run this on iOS, Android easily, without having to do too much cross-platform work on both of those. So we have now decided to, or I have decided to focus on just building this for the mobile. And I got myself a new OnePlus 12. This is a pretty sweet device. The display is very nice. The high refresh rate, that's like very good for this application. So you get like butter smooth operation, and yeah, it's just an excellent device. I updated this from OnePlus 6, so that was like 6 years ago. So I think it's a good time to focus on this, getting this app to mobile. So let me just show you a little bit on the progress that I have done. So previously I think I was thinking about this design, having this kind of touch panel that you can use with your fingers. So I have implemented some of that already. So here you can see we have this compass controller which adjusts like basic parameters now, like number of points and recursion and scaling, and this child radius ratio, which means like the ratio of the sizes here. So what I've done now is actually start implementing this touch panel control. So here you can see the mandala being drawn. We have like layers that make up the mandala, so you can copy these layers like this and change the colors. And let's copy another layer there just to showcase this a little bit. And now I can select two of these layers to be modified at the same time. And now we can the petal shape you see here can be now adjusted using this touch panel control here. So this is is a very nice way to adjust this, like having direct control with your fingers and not just like pushing buttons or adjusting some kind of parameter here, but you have like direct control. So here it's running with iPhone simulator, and yeah, I've been implementing like filling of these shapes and drawing of the strokes for the petals, and then you can like reset the shape here. Oh yeah, the defaults are incorrect right now, but anyway, this provides a very nice way to modify these. And now if I modify this one layer here and copy it again with some fine-tuned controls here, I can very easily make this beautiful shape. This is like a little bit like doodling in your sketchpad geometric patterns, but this is like hyper version of that. Like everything is adjustable with the touch of your fingertips. Everything is fast. You have rapid ways of iterating these parameter values and finding new shapes. So already here I see a nice like shape I could maybe use. Let's change the color a little bit. Okay, let's do that same color. And yeah, and you can adjust these like freely here, so you can make this kind of living flowers. Our idea is also in the future being able to animate these, so you can create like living flowers that are opening up like a 1,000 petal lotus, if you know that concept. The idea is that everything comes from the center point. With OmniGeometry, we have so much more screen space. You could freely move these layers and so on. But with this, I think we're gonna focus on the center point, the Bindu point. In Indian mythology and like spiritual traditions, the Bindu point is the center point of creation. So we're gonna focus on bringing forwards these shapes, creating these shapes, these flowers, these mandalas from the center point. And here you only see the petal drawing feature, but the idea is in the future that all of these features, like all the draw features, like drawing points at each point here, would have this kind of touch panel control. So with these you could easily create like very beautiful shapes with just a touch of your fingertips. So yeah, you can see already like a flower started to bloom there, and how this was like, I don't know, 2 minutes. So you can do this very fast, and this is just like, if I would work on this for like maybe 5-10 minutes, I could already create something very beautiful. And we can, from here we can like toggle the drawing of the strokes of the petals, and we can also feel the petals. So we can change the fill color for these, and I'm selecting 2 layers here, and now the fill color is active, so I could try like different colors here and see what works well. And yeah, let's just adjust this red. And in the future, the idea is that these shapes probably will be animating all the time. So we're still like in the very beginning of just like discovering how to draw flowers with this app. It's gonna be like an interesting journey to see how we get there. Yeah. So let me see. Where is that red one? Yeah, that one. And you can toggle the drawing of the stroke and also the feel like here. And of course, like you can do individual layers. Okay, yeah, that's already very beautiful, I think. So that took like maybe 5 to 7 minutes to find this shape. I think that's a really good way, or really good time to do that. So people are busy these days, they don't have much time, everybody is hyper active on many platforms, they have so much communication coming from all directions. You want to be able to do this fast, quick way, and maybe just sit down in the bus, train, waiting for something. You would work on your mandalas and have a little moment of peace for yourself, create some beauty, share that beauty, and become actually an artist. Many people have already been using our beta version, and they're like posting stuff on Instagram, like Greg Lab, and sharing their creations to the world and getting good feedback. So I'm happy about that. And maybe I'll talk a little bit also about the technical implementation. Like before we did this design for the iPad, and so we kind of like, we didn't know what we were building yet. So usually when you do software, you first build some kind of prototype. You don't have any idea how the UI is gonna be, how the structure is gonna be. So you kind of like just have to wing it, make something. And previously in Flutter we used a lot of like absolutely positioned elements on the screen, like positioning this with the pixel value here and here and here, and just having like an absolute position for everything. And that came from the HTML world. I've been more used to that world where you position things, at least traditionally, with divs that are absolutely positioned. Nowadays you have flexbox, grids, flex grids, or whatever you call those. And with Flutter you can actually do the same thing. So now I've been refactoring the code a lot and just like using these rows and column widgets to just like build everything. So then it has logical structure. The widgets are logically structured as columns and rows. So then we can easily like, we don't have to position everything. So everything can, the idea is now that we're gonna go towards responsive design so that this works well on all mobile phones, and each mobile phone can have a different resolution. They can have a little bit rounded corners here. They can have like safe space that you cannot draw to, or safe space that you can only draw to, like this area here. So we have to have the UI design to be responsive. It has to be scaled up, and in our design currently, for example, this touch panel area will scale to whatever height the phone will have, and we're going to be following that design principle from now on. And yeah, as I said, the idea is now to build this touch panel control for the petals first, because that's an interesting draw feature that was not present in OmniGeometry. So all of this work is kind of based on OmniGeometry. We've been iterating that for since 2011 already, getting good feedback. We have like we have been talking with many of the users over the years and just like honing in on the development of the features and getting feedback and actually talking with the users a lot. So we're gonna use that knowledge and that experience to bring this to the mobile. But still, like if you're developing software, you really want to just have maybe a couple of testers you're talking with actually. So you have to discuss with your testers all the time, like what do you think about this, and get feedback and just throw around ideas. You cannot keep it in your own head. You're just gonna stay in this bubble and you won't see the actual use case and what people need actually, what they want to create. So that's a very important part of the software development process, is just discussing with users all the time, the beta testers. Currently we have like 10 beta testers with this app, but once we get these drawing features done, we are gonna do like maybe a more public beta, maybe within I don't know, maybe in 3 months. It's still like maybe a long time until we wanna do a public beta. But if you're interested in testing this out, you can always reach me in Telegram directly. My username there is Sakari369. So if you're interested, the easiest way is to contact me through Telegram. I'll put the link down below. So yeah, this was a quick update on the current development stuff happening with Sumo Mandala. Thanks for listening. This is Sakari. Bye bye.